It came out of nowhere.
The maker of ChatGPT, with billions of dollars in backing from Microsoft, is now in turmoil after the board fired its co-founder and CEO, Sam Altman, on Friday.
Just days after representing the company at a conference, Sam Altman was immediately fired by the board from his position as CEO of OpenAI, the makers of ChatGPT. And what happened next can only be described as complete chaos. 2 new CEOs came and went in a matter of days. The employees all signed a letter of revolt. And finally, Sam was confirmed as returning yet again, with most of the board instead leaving. So what does all of this mean for the future of AI and OpenAI itself? Who's really in charge now? And how will these power politics affect the future of AI as we know it? Well, a few weeks ago, you never would have suspected anything would be going down at OpenAI. Sam Altman, who's been the face of the company ever since they hit big with ChatGPT, was happily attending conferences and summits. He was the face of AI, and the company was steadily rolling out new products and features, like their integration with Bing or their voice function on ChatGPT. That was until the board of directors from the company released this statement on November 17th. Quote, "We are grateful for Sam's many contributions to the founding and growth of OpenAI. At the same time, we believe new leadership is necessary as we move forward." In typical corporate fashion, it says nothing. When pressed though, the board said that they had lost confidence in Sam for issues with communication. In the same statement, they appointed the then CTO, Mira Murati, as the interim CEO and caretaker until they found someone more permanent. It all stunk of something hastily prepared and rushed through the door. Something deeper was going on. And according to the co-founder of OpenAI, Greg Brockman, who was also dismissed hours later, the whole coup had been organized in the space of a few conference calls. Obviously, this didn't work out so well. Sam and Greg were quickly approached by Microsoft, which had been funneling billions of investments into OpenAI. There, they were slated to start a new subsidiary picking up their work at OpenAI. Almost immediately, the whole company was in uproar. Out of around 770 employees, 738 of them signed a letter demanding both Sam's reinstatement and the dismissal of the board of directors. If this didn't happen, they'd all leave for Sam's new company at Microsoft. As vague as they were still completely without evidence or cause. The interim CEO the board had appointed, Mira Murati, was at the top of the list of signatures. Board at OpenAI went into full panic mode. With Mira not playing along with the coup, they instead turned to Emmett Shear as their new CEO. It wasn't a change that would last very long though. Within a few days of the employee letter, the board of directors folded. If they hadn't, there wouldn't have been much of a company left to run. The old board of directors was nearly entirely replaced with fresh faces, like Brett Taylor, who used to run Salesforce, Larry Summers, a former US Treasury Secretary, and Adam D'Angelo, the only surviving member from the previous board. Of course, Altman is returning as CEO again, and his co-founder Greg Brockman will also be back in his old role at the company. From a distance, it looks like things will be going straight back to normal, but another letter written by former OpenAI employees shows us why that might not be a good thing after all. With suspicious timing considering everything that's been going on, Elon Musk then posted a letter from anonymous former OpenAI employees, and it doesn't paint a pretty picture as other accounts, alleging a quote disturbing pattern of deceit and manipulation by Sam Altman and Greg Brockman. Their basic plan, as laid out in the letter, was to both transition the company from a non-profit into a for-profit company, whilst racing to unlock the secrets behind artificial general intelligence, otherwise known as AGI. Now the details are vague, but they allege that to do these two things, Sam and Greg were ruthless and firing large parts of the company along with anyone else who disagreed. The letter also says that most of the company is loyal because they're both afraid of Sam and of missing out on a cut of future profits. It should definitely all be taken with a grain of salt though, as it's odd that over 95% of the OpenAI workforce were willing to follow their apparently authoritarian bosses, so willing that they threatened to quit when he got fired by the board of directors. On top of that is the fact that the letter was posted by Elon Musk, fresh off his feud with Sam Altman and the company itself. It even names him in person, painting the picture that Sam was distracted by his feud, so much so that he made bad decisions for the company. But despite all that, it should still be taken as a worrying indication of further chaos within the company, chaos that's far from what we want in a company that's so pivotal for the future. Because whether you like it or not, OpenAI is right at the front in the development of AI and will be a key player in our modern future. On top of that, the letter implies that the disagreements between Sam and the board and the former employees was all over AI safety, with Sam being painted as disregarding it entirely. And it might not be too far from the truth. When people talk about the dangers of AI, most people's first thoughts are about killer robots and Terminators. But outside of fantasy, that's not the real danger. The problem will come with powerful people using AI for their own good, rather than anyone else's. In OpenAI's case, that will mean accelerating the development past all safe limits in order to win the arms race, a race that Sam Altman and everyone else at the company will be well aware of. Make no mistake, this was more than a fight over the future of AI. This was about the fate of the modern world, because the chair of the SEC himself just warned that AI will be at the center of the next financial crisis. What was decided this week could crush the wealth of an entire country or world, including our own bank accounts, because 2008 also showed most wealth building strategies don't hold up when banks are collapsing. That's why these billionaires creating AI companies are already 10 moves ahead, storing their wealth in secretive markets known for their stability, like the contemporary art market, which survived the 2008 crisis and the insanity of the last 18 months, even outpacing the S&P 500 for the last 27 years by an incredible 136%. But now, we can be the billionaires at their own game, because over 800,000 people have signed up for our sponsor, Masterworks, a platform that makes multi-million-dollar paintings by the names like Banksy, Basquiat, and Picasso investable for the first time, without needing Sam Altman-level money. They've already sold over $45 million of luxury art, with the net proceeds paid out directly to investors like you. With so many users, new offerings can sell out in minutes, and there's a waitlist to get access. But with the link in the description, you can skip the waitlist and get priority access to the platform right now. And the main way they are doing this is through AGI, one of the most contentious issues in AI right now, and one of the most dystopian. You see, Elon Musk, a former board member of OpenAI, one of the main guys behind the whole thing and a vocal advocate for cautious AI development, has often expressed concerns about the unregulated advancement of AI technologies. His views, particularly on the potential risks of AGI, contrast with the ambitious strides OpenAI has made under Sam Altman. Musk's apprehension about the rapid development of AGI aligns with broader fears about AI ethics, safety, and societal impact, concerns that have become more pressing as AGI moves from concept to potential reality. You see, in the beginning, Sam Altman and Elon Musk were close. They were Silicon Valley titans, and came together with their passion of AI to build the OpenAI we know today. But after they parted, there's been a bitter feud between the two, particularly surrounding the issue of OpenAI going from non-profit to for-profit. You see, Sam Altman appears to be more focused on realizing the transformative potential of AGI, whereas Elon Musk seems wary of the rapid pace and potential consequences of such advancements, and how this will change the lives of humanity.
A bunch of these AI companies are in either in San Francisco or in the San Francisco Bay Area, then you could implicitly program an AI to believe that extinction of humanity is what it should try to do.
And this personal feud has now become one of the biggest feuds in AI, representing a larger dialogue in the tech community about the direction of AI development. And it's this debate that has caused all the problems we've seen with OpenAI this week. As Microsoft pours in billions and billions into OpenAI, the debate between profitability and cautious regulation is becoming bigger and more important by the day, as AGI is the next step in AI. And what it represents is the transformation of AI becoming sentient. And it might have been one of the reasons that Sam Altman was previously kicked out of the CEO position, as this tension in the tech community has been simmering beneath the surface for a long time now, and has reached a boiling point, and it could be the catalyst for broader conflicts within the company in future years. And it's a worrying trend, considering how OpenAI is becoming more and more for profit, rather than as a non-profit research company. But if AI does become sentient, then this could potentially be one of the most disastrous things that ever happens to humanity, and this is certainly what Elon Musk believes. But those at the top of OpenAI see AGI as solving complex global issues. But it does beg the question, how much power is too much power for these people? And then again, why is Elon Musk so against OpenAI these days, considering that he was one of the main guys behind the whole things originally? It shows how bad the company's become recently. I mean, on Twitter, Elon has been exposing the inner workings of OpenAI and the corruption dripping down from the top. As he said on Twitter, quote, "This letter about OpenAI was just sent to me. These seem like concerns worth investigating." Following up with tweets like this: OpenAI starts as a non-profit. OpenAI creates a for-profit arm. Microsoft invests big money with OpenAI. ChatGPT is born. OpenAI CEO is fired. OpenAI CEO then goes to Microsoft. Former OpenAI CEO comes back to OpenAI as CEO. OpenAI equals Microsoft AI, to which Elon responded, "That is the trend." And so ever since the drama, Elon has been bringing up more and more points, showing how bad the leadership at OpenAI is in terms of the consequences to humanity. And interestingly, amidst this whole organizational drama, OpenAI did actually make a very significant advancement by introducing a voice feature for ChatGPT, making it accessible to all free users. However, this was of course overshadowed by the widespread ChatGPT outrage, which raises even more concerns about the stability and reliability of those running AI companies, because once the brain of AI is trained, there is no going back. And what happens when AI just suddenly turns off when we need it most? I mean, in the week of this whole drama, there was suddenly a ChatGPT alpha during the outrage that added another layer of intrigue to the ongoing developments. But even more crazy was a report from the New York Times that shed light on Helen Toner's alleged opposition to Sam Altman as CEO again. The contention seemingly stemmed from the academic paper published by Toner, critical of OpenAI's future direction, claiming, quote, that the board's mission mission is to ensure that the company creates artificial intelligence that benefits all of humanity, and if this company was destroyed, she said, this could be consistent with its mission. Showing how big this discussion is becoming in AI, this internal power struggle as depicted in the report shows that we're going down a bad road with AI, and there will be pushback. But while this is happening, other AI companies are looking to take the lead. Anthropic, another key player in the AI domain, has made remarkable progress with the release of Claude 2.1. Under the leadership of CEO Dario Amodi, this new AI model boasts doubled context size and improved tool integrations, signifying not only a huge leap in AI capabilities, but also heightening the competitive landscape in the AI industry and the push for more profit, pushing aside all consequences for humanity to the side. Not to mention Elon Musk's very own Grok, which is reported to be used on X, with the site having its very own tab for users to access Grok directly in X. Somewhat ironically showing how much of a fraud Elon Musk is in this area, considering he's doing exactly the same thing that OpenAI is. But this whole thing signifies a period of intense growth, competition, and uncertainty in the field of AI, which is terrifying. This needs to be the most controlled thing out there, as the societal implications haven't been realized by many yet, especially as they're blinded by profitability. As we need to be extremely careful about how human qualities get imprinted on AI, especially those at the top. If the habitus of the elites trickles down into AI, where is this going to lead us? This was a huge problem for more primitive chatbots. When companies let their AIs loose on social media, the results were nearly always disastrous. Incredibly quickly, they would become influenced and shaped by the most extremist views, spouting racist and crazy views until they got turned off. When Microsoft itself released their own chatbot Tay AI in 2016, it didn't even last 24 hours before it got corrupted, demonstrating that without the sense and awareness that people take for granted, AI can't make ethical judgments or know what's right or wrong in society. And this is just one of the problems right now with AI that needs to be considered in the very near future. These current problems aren't about AI destroying human civilization or even gaining sentience. Instead, there's specific clashes between our society and how AI will interact with it. Militaries around the world are already in an arms race to develop the best AIs for use as weapons. In some ways, AI can be used to create the perfect soldiers. Without free will, fear, or mercy, AI will act out every order with exact precision regardless of the ethical implications, as long as it makes profit for its owners. AI is already being integrated into military technology like missile guidance systems. Russia's been testing AI-guided missiles since 2017 and aims for AI to power a significant portion of their combat units by 2030. China too is heavily investing in AI for military purposes, with ambitions to establish a significant AI industry. And as the government tries to control more of its population, this will be one of the most devastating tools humanity has ever seen. Only time will tell in the very near future what the fate of humanity holds.